Hi, this is Tom Mura with World Class Coaching and another in our series of animated drills. Today I want to talk about a warm-up that I've used quite often with my teams. I prefer to do it on the field, but you know how it goes. We don't often get access to the field before our games. If you get that 8 o'clock in the morning game, then you get the field. Otherwise, you're going to have to get lucky sometimes if there's an open slot before your game. So I'll often do this off of the field, just in whatever space I have. Generally speaking, I need to have these be at least 10 by 10 grids. Depending on the age of the players, that may be too small, as I've talked about before. It's all relative to the age and ability of the players. If I can do it on the field, then I'll set it up in the kind of the area between the halfway line and the box and split the field in half and have two groups working. And to begin with, just to get the players moving and get some touches going, then we'll have the group split in half and everybody has a ball and we're all dribbling, and I'll start off with just touches with all parts of your foot, touching the ball every time you step, so you're getting lots of repetitions. You're keeping the ball close to your feet. And we'll go through a series of kind of reminders for the players where I'll talk about, okay, now dribble with your favorite foot and now dribble with your not so favorite foot, so we get both feet working. Then I'll talk about, okay, dribble with the ball on the safe side. And what that means is making sure as you dribble by somebody, you've got the ball, if we're talking about this middle player in this grid, you've got the ball on the safe side of your body, which is farthest away from the closest opponent. So if you can dribble with the ball on your safe side, then you're protecting the ball. So we'll talk about that. If we have a little time and I know I'm going to have room to kind of get all my progressions in, we may even play a game of knockout with this where I try to keep my ball in and kick others' ball out. Just as a reminder for keeping the ball under control, depending on the age of the players. The younger the players, the more likely I am to play that game where I know it's not going to get out of control or turn into something physical just as a warm-up. But we'll do things like that. We'll talk about dribbling with small touches when there's limited space, and then getting the ball out of their feet and trying to find a bit more space with a bit longer touch when they can. So we'll go through those. We'll also go through different movements. Maybe we'll do change of direction moves. And we'll do fakes and moves. So we'll do 1v1 moves as well. So we'll go through all of that within the grid just to start with. Often as part of that warm-up, I'll have the players switch grids. I'll just say switch. And so I want the players from one grid dribbling into the other grid. So obviously this area becomes crowded. And as the players approach that area, I'm talking about eyes up, no car crashes. Keep your eyes up so that you see the opponent, you see the space. And so just as a way to, make it a little bit more dynamic, get their eyes up. So now they're dribbling instead of just in a square, they're dribbling across a space, and they have to be aware of their teammates and other soccer balls as well. So we'll go through that dribbling pattern, and then we'll turn this into a passing pattern. So as you noticed, I've got different colored cones at different parts. So I've got the diamond is set up in red. And so then what I would do is have the players, and I do this on one side or I do this in two, just depending, again, on the ability level of the players. But we'll just clear these extra soccer balls off. And this would be happening on both sides at the same time, but for the sake of time, I'll just talk about it on one side. So let's say, for example, that we're only going to use one ball. If we're only going to use one ball, then we'd be passing and following our pass. Obviously, that player wouldn't be there. It'd be more like somebody facing this direction, wouldn't it? And we'll just move this player over here and get us somebody else standing in line. And so then we would have the players popping off the cone to receive the ball, that player popping off the cone to receive it. And if you notice, that extra cone creates kind of an alleyway. So we've got a diamond here, but then we've got an alleyway for the passer. So we're doing that to the right side. We're doing that again to the left side perhaps as well. Obviously, we want to go both ways, make the players use both feet, because this pass coming in, we want it to be received on the right foot and then played with the right foot. Or you could have the players receive it across their body so they receive it with their right, but then set it up for their left to pass it with their left, which is a game action that you'll see players perform. If the players are of high enough standard, I would then have two soccer balls. So just steal one here from this other grid. And we could do this same activity with two soccer balls, requiring the players to be that much more aware because the ball is going to come quickly from one side to the other. They're going to get more reps in, but it also penalizes a poor touch more. So if you have a group that, just can't handle that, then maybe that's not the thing to do with that group. But that's one I like to do. And then what we do after the diamond passing, we go right, left. Perhaps we even do some give and goes where the ball is played in, then laid off for the player who's followed their pass. And then we play a pass in there as a give and go, or a layoff and a through ball, if you will. So we'll do those combinations, and then we'll bring the players inside the grid again, and we'll turn this into a 4v2 activity, or 5v2, depending on the age of the players. And so we'd bring everybody inside, and this grid is a little bit small, or I guess these players are a little bit large to paint the picture, but you can get an idea just from this. So we bring everybody in. Obviously, bring the ball in as well. And then the reason I like these different colored cones for this part of the activity is we talk about the players sliding into that space to support the ball when the ball is there. So if the ball is in that space, then we want the player sliding into that space. If the ball is at the far end, we'll move the ball, not the player. If the ball is at the far end, then we want the players to slide down into that space to support the ball on that side. So you can talk about, those areas of the grid. And that's why I like to have players start on the sides rather than the corners as well. It gives them more flexibility in their movement. So we've gone through a dribbling progression, then a passing progression. Now we're playing 4 versus 2 inside the grid. So that would be a good way that kind of gets everything in, but a shooting activity. And perhaps in another video, I'll show you the shooting activity that I do with players before the games. But this is a quick dribbling and passing warm-up that you can do off of the field, on the field, before the game to get your players moving and thinking about the kind of the key concepts of each of these activities while getting their minds ready and their bodies ready for the game.